I Am Angus is proudly brought to you by the Angus Foundation. Thank you for making a difference today in the future of Angus kids by making a year-end tax-deductible gift to the Angus Foundation. To learn more, visit angusfoundation.org.
I think that what you see behind me right here is the reason I get out of my bed every day, because I just love being around the cattle. They make me happy with their ears and their fluff and, you know, the way they have the hay in their mouths, and especially during calving season when the little guys are, you know, running around the field, no care in the world. So I love the combination of that with working with the ranchers and educating consumers about why we have cattle out here in the field. I came out to the ranches with kind of an objective mindset of I didn't know anything, and so I was kind of a little sponge, you know, soaking up what it meant to be a rancher. The majority of the time that I was in college, I had an internship in either anthropology-related field or journalism, and I came across an internship from the Montana Stockgrowers Association, and it was for a multimedia communications internship. And I thought that would be a really cool way to combine, you know, my love of video journalism and of learning a new culture, i.e. the anthropology side of things. So came out to Montana and spent the summer here, visited a couple of ranches, and just fell in love with everything. One time I was at a branding where I got to use a Nord fork, which is kind of a horseshoe shape metal clasp that holds down a calf during branding, and I was put in charge of that, and didn't know quite how to use it, so I ended up with about 100 bruises on my legs. But that was kind of fun. I was proud to show them off because I did a good day's work. I've seen more animals out in Montana than I have at many of the zoos I've visited. Just driving to a ranch in the morning, you're going to see antelope, elk, deer, you know, lots of birds, cranes, everything. And it's really kind of exciting because you kind of get used to it, and you bring people out to Montana who've never been here, and they're whipping out their cameras to take a picture of a deer. So it's really been interesting to learn about all the different aspects of what makes a ranch a ranch. Coming out to Montana from Iowa, I had no family, no friends, knew very little about the state, knew very little about ranching, and so it was a very, very new experience. But the second that I got to a ranch, I was treated just like a member of their family. And I think that to me was very important for me to feel comfortable and to learn about who they are as people. Their patience with my questions that, what is the difference between a bull and a steer? I didn't know, but they didn't make fun of me for not knowing. They explained it to me, and I think that the combination between that and feeling like family is really what drove me to really like this place and really want to help them in any way that I could with my skill set. Coming out of this internship, I knew immediately that I could make a difference with the knowledge and the skills that I have to help not only Montana's ranchers, but farmers and ranchers across the country tell their story, because that's all that we heard is, you gotta tell your story, you gotta tell your story, you gotta tell your story. Well, I can do that. I can tell the story. And so I work every day to sort of, you know, find new ways to do that. And I think that, yes, we do have to tell the ag story to consumers, but the way that they want their information is visual. People want to see the people behind beef production, any sort of agriculture. The more content that we collectively as a whole can put out there of those photos, of that life that they don't have, they're going to keep coming back for more and more and more and more. When I visit a ranch, it's very exciting for the people to be able to tell their story. And like clockwork, when I'm doing an interview and I say, tell me why you love ranching, tears. 100% of the time, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, they cry. And to me, that means that their lifestyle to them is so important. What they do is so important. And that just motivates me to help them tell their story and to be able to continue to provide for them on that ranch. Part of my project is creating a series of coffee table photo books called Montana Family Ranching Series. and it's going to walk the reader through what happens on a ranch year. So we're going to start with calving and ultimately end up in shipping. So the readers are going to be able to see what happens on modern ranching throughout the year and how their beef grows from a baby calf to ultimately ships out to the feed yards, and the process continues. Taking the photos and doing the videos and producing the book is one thing, but seeing people's reaction to that content on social media and when they're holding the book, that's what really motivates me to do it again and again and again, because they love it. They say, we want more, more, more. So I'm gonna give them more and more and more content, and they're gonna learn about Montana's ranches.